Hello and welcome, I'm Nikita Kapoor and you're watching the Daily Jagran. In this special segment, I will take you through some of the top stories of the day. Let's begin. A horrifying escalation in the Middle East that has shocked the world in what is being called one of the most direct and chilling attacks on Israeli civilian infrastructure. Iran has struck a major hospital in Israel, the Soroka Medical Center in Beersheba, the largest medical facility, mind you, the largest medical facility in southern Israel with over 1,000 beds. The missile strike happened early in the morning and the impact was devastating. The Israeli government has confirmed that the missile barrage from the Iran has caused extensive damage to the hospital complex and left at least 47 people injured. Look at your screens right now. Images and videos from inside the Soroka hospital are going viral. The visuals are chilling. Smoke-filled corridors, staff running through haze. The hospital's interior is littered with shattered glass, broken benches, twisted metals and debris everywhere. The aftermath of a direct missile hit in what should be one of the safest places in any country, a hospital. In a strong statement, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to extract a heavy price from Iran for what he termed a deliberate strike on a civilian medical facility. The Soroka Medical Center is a critical lifeline for southern Israel, serving nearly 1 million people. It's not just a hospital, it's a regional hub for trauma care, maternal health, emergency surgeries, and now it's been turned into a war zone. And the attack didn't stop there. Iranian missiles also struck a residential high-rise in Tel Aviv. Israeli defense sources say the missiles were ballistic in nature, launched from Iranian soil. In anticipation of such attacks, emergency protocols had already been activated across Israeli hospitals. Underground parking lots had been converted into makeshift wards. Patients on ventilators were moved underground, especially in cities near the southern and central border. But clearly, the scale and precision of this very attack overwhelmed even those precautions. On social media, the world is reacting with horror. Images of children being evacuated, elderly patients in wheelchair covered in blankets, nurses crying as they try to make sense of this chaos. Hospitals are meant to save lives. Today, one became the target of a war that's no longer targeting just borders or battlefields, but emergency rooms and children's wards. There's a big development in the Thug Life row. The theatres in Karnataka that dare to screen Kamal Hassan's upcoming film Thug Life will now do so under heavy police protection. Why, you ask? Because protests, politics and pride have created a storm around this film, turning what should have been a cinematic release into a full-blown controversy, now a cinematic one. Let's break down what's really happening and why the Supreme Court had to step in. The Karnataka government has assured the Supreme Court that it will provide adequate security to any theatre that decides to screen Tamil superstars' film Thug Life. This assurance came after top court strongly rebuked the state, warning that mob rule cannot be tolerated in a democracy. The court's words were sharp. The remarks came after Thug Life was not screened in any theatre in Karnataka even after the release, despite no official ban being in place. And that, the court said, is simply unacceptable. But why has the Thug Life become the center of a political and cultural storm again? The answer lies in one man, Kamal Hassan, and a comment he made about the Kannada language. The controversy began when Kamal Hassan, while promoting Thug Life, made what many have called a dismissive remark about the Kannada language. Kannada activists erupted in protest, accusing Kamal Hassan of insulting their language and culture. They demanded an apology. When none came, the Karnataka Film Chamber of Commerce stepped in, informally banning the film from theatres in the state. Let's be clear, there is no official ban on this film. But the pressure from activists, the threat of violence and the growing sentiment against Kamal Hassan began the most theatre owners, out of fear or caution, chose not to screen the film at all. That's what led to court's intervention. So what happens now? The ball is in the court of government. It must ensure that law and order prevails, that every theatre that wants to screen the film is given protection. The court has made it clear threats against cinema are threats against constitutional freedom. Sources in Karnataka police say contingency plans are already being drawn up. Additional deployment will be made in sensitive areas. Theatres that screen Thug Life will receive security, and intelligence units have asked to monitor any signs of unrest. Still, many theatre owners remain nervous. Fair so, there is fear of damage to property, protest, or worse. And for Kamal Haasan, this is not just a battle for his film, but a larger battle over his freedom to speak, to perform, and to release content across India. Thug Life may or may not have made a splash at the box office, but it has already made headlines. A major development in the Air India crash investigation, the black box, often considered key to unlocking the mystery behind any aviation disaster, has suffered heavy damage in the Ahmedabad crash last week. And now sources say the black box from that ill-fated Air India flight may have to be flown out of India to the United States for advanced data recovery. According to reports, the black box retrieved from the crash site has received heavy external damage due to the intense fire that followed the crash. And that's not all. Experts here in India are struggling to retrieve any usable data from it. In simpler terms, the very device that holds answer to what caused the tragedy now in jeopardy. Sources say that the flight data recorder in particular is badly damaged. The cockpit voice recorder, the second critical part of the black box, may also have suffered because of the fire. If Indian investigators cannot salvage the data here, the black box will likely be sent to the National Transportation Safety Board in Washington, D.C., a U.S. agency that houses some of the world's most advanced facilities for recovering and analyzing even severely damaged black boxes. For those who don't know, the black box, despite the name, is actually bright orange to help investigators locate it in debris. It is made to survive extreme heat, impact, and pressure, but when a crash involves an intense post-impact fire, like in this case, even these tough devices can be compromised. But the final decision, we are told, rests with the Ministry of Civil Aviation. For now, teams are trying to extract whatever they can using domestic resources here in India, but time is of the essence, and every day lost is a delay in providing answers to grieving families and in making air travel safer for everyone. Let's not forget, this crash has already claimed multiple lives and left many questions unanswered. Why did a routine flight to Ahmedabad go fatally? Of course, was it pilot error, a technical malfunction, or something else entirely? The black box is key to all those answers. For days now, not a lot has been said about the Ahmedabad plane crash by the top brass of Air India, from the Tata Group, from those at the helm. But the silence has finally been broken. In his first public statement since the crash, Tata Sons and Air India chairman N. Chandrasekaran offered an emotional apology while speaking to Times Now in an interview, a rare display of vulnerability from one of India's most powerful business leaders. He also addressed the swirling speculations from human error to engine failure, from foreign maintenance lapses to technical faults. Let's break down what he said. 1. The aircraft involved, AI-171, had a clean service history. This is what he said. 2. The right engine in question was brand new, installed in March 2025. 3. The left engine, last serviced in 2023, was not even due for its next maintenance until December this year. So no overdue service, no skipped checks, and as of now, no red flags. In the aftermath of the crash, social media exploded with unverified claims. One theory gaining traction was that Turkish Technic, a foreign firm, was responsible for the maintenance of the aircraft. Air India has now dismissed those claims. N. Chandrasekaran clarified that the vast majority of Air India's fleet is serviced either by AI Engineering Services Limited or SIA Engineering, a subsidiary of Singapore Airlines. However, the big question remains, if not human error and if not mechanical failure, then what really caused AI 171 to fall from the sky minutes after takeoff? Chandrasekharan says the final report will be out within 30 days, but the wait for those who lost their loved ones will feel endless. Indian students who had been evacuated out of Iran recalled the horrific scenes of destruction and fear in Iran amid the country's conflict with Israel. The Indian government, under Operation Sindhu, facilitated the return of 110 students from Iran amid the country's conflict with Israel. After being evacuated from the war-torn region, students recall the fear and destruction that they witnessed. They are relieved to be back home, but they're still anxious about their career and the degrees they had to leave midway because of the escalating situation. Listen in to what rescued students have to say as they returned home.
घर माँ बाप से मिलने जा रहे थे, दुख भी है कि पढ़ाई छोटी पड़ रही है, 4th ईयर था तो मतलब उम्मीद थी कि पूरा करके ही वापस लौटेंगे, लेकिन अचानक से वापस आना पड़ा। उस बात की दुखी है लेकिन खुश है कि अपने माँ बाप से मिलेंगे, क्योंकि जो माहौल वहाँ देखा था उस हिसाब से लगा नहीं था कि ऐसे घर कभी जा पाएंगे, घर वालों से मिल पाएंगे।
क्या हालात थे वहाँ की, किस तरह से सिचुएशन थी?
I will really appreciate the Iranian people because they are like very strong. मतलब उस हिसाब से कि मतलब वो वैसे नहीं है कि कुछ हो जाए and they will shut down everything. उनका जो ईमान एतकाद है बहुत काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छा है, like काफ़ी, क्योंकि डरे नहीं, सब ठीक रखा, बजाय इसके कि हम चल रहे थे बसेस में जैसे बम ब्लास्ट हो रहा था या कुछ भी, लेकिन काफ़ी हद तक वो लोग काफ़ी स्टेबल रखना चाहते हैं अपने हालात को।
किस तरह से फूड वगैरह हर चीज़
जी,
खाना वगैरह प्रोवाइड किया जा रहा था, कैसे?
उनकी हॉस्पिटैलिटी बहुत अच्छी है, लाइक वो आए ही एस्कोम से है तो ऑब्वियसली दे वर ट्राइंग टू मेक इट इजी फॉर एवरी पर्सन देयर रिगार्डिंग कि वो ईरानियन है या नॉन ईरानियन है। सो हाँ, आई होप कि वॉर एंड हो जाए और हम वापस चले जाए, क्योंकि हमारी अपनी पढ़ाई कंप्लीट हो जाएगी और वहाँ के लोग भी सफ़र ना करें।
गवर्नमेंट ने किस तरह से आपको प्रोवाइड?
Very, very thankful to the Indian government, whatever they did. Like it was so smooth for us. मतलब कोई परेशानी नहीं अभी तक, जस्ट कि अभी हमें थोड़ी सी परेशानी सफ़र करनी पड़ रही है, क्योंकि इनने हमारे लिए जो कश्मीर के बच्चे हैं खासकर उनके लिए बसेस अरेंज की है, और अभी जो कि हम 3 दिन से हर एक कंट्री से दूसरी कंट्री से तीसरी कंट्री हम नहीं है इस तैयार कि हम बसेस में जाए, और बसेस की हालत इतनी अच्छी अभी है अभी नहीं। अभी हम बस अपने चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब से यही रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि हमारे लिए थोड़ा सा अभी थोड़ी सी सहूलियत करें, ताकि हम भी अपने पेरेंट्स से जल्द मिल सकें। हमारे माँ बाप भी परेशान हैं हमारे साथ साथ, बस यही है।
Well, this is all we have time for in this special segment. For more news and updates, you can subscribe to the Daily Jagran, or you can also log on to thedailyjagran.com. Thanks for tuning in. This is Nikita Kapoor signing off.